Today, we're going to be talking about sex. Aren't we, Mum?
Yes.
Hello everybody and welcome. If you are new here, my name is Adam and this is my mum, and today we're going to be asking my mum your questions about sex, parenting and much, much more. If this is your first time here, then welcome to Godmiche. Here we create, sculpt, mould and make all of our own sex toys. Toys we want to use as a couple. Toys me and Monica want to use together. That's why we Toys made for the purpose of pleasure. So if you're into all things kinky, sex toys and positive sex talk, drop a like on the video. With that said, let's get into it. So why do we have my mum here today? Well, we believe that sex and sexuality should be something that people feel more comfortable and confident talking about. And as it's Mother's Day, happy Mother's Day by the way, we thought we'd get my magic mum in to talk about the questions you thought we should ask her. That's it.
Okay.
So we're all good. Now
Yeah.
everything else is questions. Yeah.
Okay.
But first, we've got a little something for you. It is early. Admittedly, it isn't quite Mother's Day yet. It will be when you see this.
There you go.
These are for you.
Happy Mother's Day.
You're welcome. And if you smell this one, it smells like curry.
Yeah. Weirdly.
I don't know why.
It does.
I know.
Oh, wow.
I know.
What is it?
I have no idea. It's a flower.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Oh.
This is the list of questions that you guys have said we should ask my mum. Some of them are a bit embarrassing, but for me, mainly, I suppose.
What?
What? Because you should see some of them. Oh, this is quite a nice one to start on.
Okay.
Is she proud of her son?
I am very, very proud of my son.
I don't
And
know why.
Monica.
You know what they say about polishing a turd? It'll always be a turd.
You're my firstborn. Of course I'm proud of you.
Yeah. How do you feel about our business, the business me and Monica run? How do you feel? Obviously, you've said you was quite sceptical to start with. Obviously,
Yeah.
you've now seen the progression and how we've grown.
Yeah.
But how do you feel about it now and the fact that we have kids?
To be quite honest, yes, at first I was quite sceptical because it's not the type of thing that I was brought up with. And to have you turn up at home going, oh mum, look at this, and holding something and then finding out it's a butt plug that I didn't even know existed, you know, has been a very big eye-opener.
Okay, so the butt plug in question was a Crystal Delights fur tail Arctic fox. It was beautiful. It was lovely.
And the
I
bunny
didn't remember,
tail.
and the bunny, which was also Crystal Delights. I've completely forgot about bringing that round.
Oh, you were so excited,
Yeah,
and I was like, oh, it was beautiful.
What
and
is
then
it?
when you told me what it was for, I just laughed because I didn't believe there was such things. But yeah, so it's been a very big eye-opener, and I'm quite like, ooh, what's this for? What's this for?
So would you say that
Whereas-
you've learnt things from us?
Yeah, definitely.
Isn't it supposed to be the other way round though?
Possibly, but I learnt nothing from my mum and dad. So, as I say, my sex education and that type of thing was very, don't talk about it.
So does your parents didn't even talk about any sex related?
No,
Protection? Nothing.
Not really.
So how did you find out?
My mum took me to help me to get on the pill, but that was it really. We were given a book at
A book?
School.
Did it have any
a
pictures?
school, which was all about anatomy.
Did it have pictures?
It did have some pictures, but very basic
Alright.
pictures, not
Not
the type that
photographs?
you. No,
I'd never read the
Not
book.
real life photographs or pictures, and that was supposed to go through.
And help?
Yes,
Okay. So it's a good job it's changed, isn't it?
it is. Everything is very open nowadays, where before it was very closed doors. So yeah, I've learnt a lot from you too.
I forgot about the butt plug thing.
That was even before Godemiche.
It was.
That was that
position,
Yes, that was
yeah.
that
Yeah.
position.
Favourite smell for each season? That's a random question. Thanks for asking such a random, non-sex related question, but I don't even know what your favourite colour is, let alone your favourite song. I know what song you want played at your funeral.
That's all that matters.
I don't fuck the colour, fuck the smell, but when you die, Mum, this is what song I'll play for you. So,
I like daffodils.
You like-
I love the
okay.
smell of daffodils, and also
is there any daffodils
lilies.
in that? Or lilies? Well, we did a fucking shit job there then, didn't we? There's about 20 different flowers in there and we didn't get one you like.
No, I like all flowers, but the smell of them
Okay.
I really like.
Daffodils and lilies.
Yeah.
We used to nick daffodils for you, didn't
Oh,
we?
every Mother's Day. I think right up until 2 years ago, I have had stolen daffodils for Mother's Day.
I'm not going to put that in the video, by the way. That's incriminating. I never used to steal daffodils. How can you steal daffodils from a
Okay,
field or people's garden? Maybe they didn't have a fence around it. I don't remember where they come from. Mind blank.
I love them. It was the thought that counted.
Resourcefulness. Listen, this is why we started a funny business that nobody else thought we could.
There you
Because
go.
we were resourceful.
Definitely. You did want truth, didn't you, love?
Yeah. I did tell you I'd edit it as well. When is your mum coming to Lanchester?
I have to explain.
Do you know what Lanchester
I
is?
have no idea what Lanchester is.
Lanchester is a fetish market in Manchester.
And you want to know when my mum...
No, when you're coming down.
Oh, when I'm coming down.
We trade there all the time.
Right,
So,
it's right. You questioned it as when is your mum
Yeah,
coming
sorry,
down, so you should say when am I coming down. I thought you meant your grandma. I was going to say...
My grandma, she doesn't even know. She still doesn't know what you do. She's like the only person in our family that has no idea.
I just say you're selling in the markets.
Okay, so what does she actually think we're doing?
I have no idea.
So she like...
I avoid the question.
We all avoid the question, Mama. If you're watching this, turn it off. Erase. She can't get on YouTube anyway, it's fine. She can't figure out how to turn the computer on, that's why they got rid of it. How did Adam tell you, Mum, that he was going to start a business making handmade dildos? Can you remember that? Can you remember how we told you that we was going to start a business making dildos? We never really did we? We
No, I
started
think
selling...
it was just
happened.
the fact that you was doing something, because originally it was linked, you was doing something linked to music,
Yeah.
and then the next thing you was doing this. My recollection is you bringing home things that you hadn't actually handmade originally.
Did you
which
ever
was
buy
the
one of them butt
Fox's
plugs?
Tail.
Because you remember it. I'm not sure whether you just got it like put in a corner like, oh, it's so pretty, I just like to pet it.
I have cats for that.
Oh yeah, true. It's pretty similar as well in terms
Yeah.
of tail-wise, weren't they?
Yeah. No, I haven't got one of those at home.
Okay,
Yeah.
just checking.
To be quite honest, I can't actually recall you ever specifically saying. I can remember you saying that you wanted to build this business up because you wanted to give up being a traffic warden. And
Never used to be a traffic warden. I'm not that horrible.
That is also on YouTube.
Yeah. Most famous one.
But until you thought it was viable enough to support yourself, Monica, and the children, you couldn't do it.
No.
And once the figures were right, you intended doing it.
But the reality was, the figures never ever got right. An opportunity appeared and...
It was just jumping in with both feet. And
Yeah, we grabbed the bull by the dick,
sing.
didn't we, instead of the horns?
Yeah. And just doing it.
Like a cow. Yeah?
So, yeah, I don't think you ever did. I can
After
remember
work?
you, apart from the butt plugs, I can remember you giving me there was some... It wasn't lube, it was something that was in a packet that you were supposed to put in your mouth
Okay.
so that it tasted...
It made sperm taste like a flavour, didn't it? And I gave you some of that.
And I gave it to my hairdresser.
Did she ever
It
tell
was
you it was
male.
good?
It was a
No,
male,
did-
actually.
Did he tell you it was good?
Well, he did ask me where to get more.
Oh, see? That's why sales went up on that.
I'll remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you have any of your son's dildos? Do you have anything that we make? Is what someone's asked.
No.
Shall we go and make one? Do you want to go and make one?
I don't think Andrew would like that.
He's not here.
It'll be
I
our
know.
secret. And the many thousands of people watching.
Oh, for when he's away.
Yeah. We could just make it and then we could put it in a bag and you could just put it in a corner and be like, I made that.
I have been asked quite a few times if I've helped, but I've said no.
Do you want to? Seriously, like we could just go. You don't have to take it. Like you could come and
Oh,
make
I'll
something.
help you on. You can show me.
Shall
how
we
to
go
do
and
it.
make
Yes.
something? We're going to
Another
make my
string
mum.
to my bow.
There you go. See, you said you needed a job.
Yeah, teach me how to do it. I might be able to come over and help.
What was the worst thing you found hidden under Adam's mattress? I never used to hide anything under my mattress.
No.
Do you ever remember finding anything
Yeah, I've
filthy?
seen-
Porn or...
Well, I've seen the books, magazines that
Okay.
you've brought.
What do
but-
you what do you remember about the porn magazines, Mum? Did you have a conversation with me?
What? I think I did. About.
Because I remember the conversation.
I think it wasn't about what they was actually doing or anything. It was about what they was wearing, and I was like, "Whoa, I like that. What she's wearing."
You liked the white
she-
dress that the lady
Yeah.
was wearing on
She
page.
wearing anything?
Yes, she was.
One fucking picture.
There was
One
one.
picture out of about 20 that this woman was wearing clothes, and you're like, oh, that magazine that you've got underneath your bed.
Yeah.
The lady on page 9's got a lovely dress. I was like, do any of them have clothes? Like, flicking through, thinking, they do. They do have clothes. They start with clothes.
I didn't really notice the others. It was just I liked the dress.
See, I didn't really notice the dress. I'll be honest with you.
So how old were you?
That was when we lived in Groby.
Oh, I can't remember where we lived.
It
To
was
be
in-
quite
it was-
honest, I think you was.
It was in Groby, on that little
So-
corner house where I got
Yeah.
that car.
Oh God, you in
So,
cars.
17,
That many.
18.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
bet it must have been around then. Yeah.
Kept a stash till I was 18. Good at hiding shit.
I didn't ever look round
No.
for them. You know.
You
if
never used to
wanted-
find the guns or any of the other stuff that we used to go and get with Dodgy. Yeah.
No, nothing.
Do you remember the police coming in that time about that? I got that stop sign, that 30-mile-an-hour sign on the back of my door, and
Yes.
the police come in and the guy went, "I'll pretend I never saw that illegal sign on the back of the door."
I can.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh God.
Didn't you have a cone as well?
I had
One
loads of
time.
stuff. I used to Young Adam used to take things. Daffodils, cones, traffic signs. Just listen, if you're going to leave stuff lying around on the floor,
Exactly.
no, fucking...
You were just picking it up and tidying this area around.
Exactly.
Conservation.
Good member of society. Didn't want those old people to trip over that cone. Has your mum ever used a strap-on?
No.
Hold on. I'm actually shocked that you know what one is. Do you know what a strap-on is?
Of course I know what a strap-on is.
Why do you know what a strap-on is?
Because you've told me about them. You've shown me the various things that go into them, and you've got, or you did have a long time ago. You had one of the harness things.
We've got
You've
loads of
sold-
harnesses.
Yeah, you've sold them.
That's
so-
what. That's all of our stuff we make kind of goes with that stuff.
And you've shown them
See?
though, because I've gone, ooh, what are these?
Ever the educator. I literally expect you to go, what's that?
Oh no, I know one of those is.
Oh, no, what one of those is.
Never used one.
Yep.
Never tried one on.
Delete the history. Do you tell your friends what me and Monica do for a living?
Yes.
You do? What
I
do they
do.
say? Do you use it as one of those shock factor things?
Sometimes, yes, because they might be going on about something and I go, well, it's all right for you. My son makes dildos and it's always a, what? But everybody is always so interested in knowing what you've done. In fact, I need to find out a website, another address off of you.
What's the
which I
name? Go on,
need
we
to
might as well put it
send-
on there.
No,
No.
it's a she, it's a he.
Oh, okay.
And I've promised to send them a link.
Okay.
So,
Well, shall
yeah.
we give you a code to go with that link so they get some money off? Yeah.
That would be an idea. There
Yeah.
you go. I think he's going to pass it on actually to some of his friends.
Some of his friends, but we'll make sure that a few people can use the code. How's that?
But I do, yes. I do.
So not only do you talk about the stuff that we do, but then you pretty much sell it to people as well.
I've also got photos of your displays that you've put on.
Have you really?
Yeah.
Have you really? How do you explain that when you're scrolling through pictures?
You've got the glow-in-the-dark ones.
Yeah.
And then
the
you've
UV
got some
stuff.
other ones. I've got 3 different pictures of the displays that you do.
So how does that come about?
I show people.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, but if they're really interested, then I show them your.
And what is the reaction when you show them a picture?
Ooh.
Ooh.
Quite often I've got. Do you get any free samples?
Do you know what? That literally is. That's one of the questions.
Do you get any free samples? And what was the other one? Oh gosh, I forgot now.
It's age.
Can you get them?
Can you get them?
Oh no, not can you get them? Can they be like a trial person for you?
Oh, okay. They want to be a reviewer.
That's it, a reviewer. Yeah. Do they need anyone?
They want to be a product tester.
Product testing. That's it. That's what they want to be.
Okay. I love it.
And I normally go no.
Just out of curiosity, when you're talking to people and you're sort of in that sort of, how does it not feel weird that you're talking about sex toys just with friends?
They're not always just friends, they're actually colleagues.
Or colleagues.
Yeah.
Even still, there's a relationship where you have to see these people.
No, because, as I say, I'm proud of what you do, so why should I not be proud? And show people what you do.
It's not that. We've been very much on the other side of things where people are proud, but not everybody is proud or accepting of what we do. Yeah, for their own reasons. Yeah, we're all entitled to our own opinion. Whether it's of a different one of ours or not. So we have come in contact with people that think what we do we shouldn't talk about, that we shouldn't let our kids know, that we this, that and the other. So I was just, it's interesting the things, the interactions you've had have generally been positive. Has there ever been one where someone's just gone to me, I don't want to talk to you about that?
No.
Really?
Yeah. People are really interested in looking at it and they go, ooh, I wouldn't want to buy something like that. However, they will often be the ones that are listening if I give out a website address, or they'll say, what is the name? But unfortunately, you've got such a strange name, I can never remember it. I have to write it down because I can't remember it.
It's French for dildo.
I could remember the last one.
Yeah.
But I can't remember this one. I'm not French.
I know.
Is that what it means?
French. Godmiche is French for dildo. That's how
right.
So the way we came to the name was we was using silicone. We put it in a Google Translate and then we'd turn it to German, Romanian, Russian, Polish. And silicone's like a really stupid word because everyone calls it silicone. It's like universal. Yeah?
Yeah.
A bit like vodka. But when you put dildo into a search, a lot of people, Germany and places like that, Poland, it was all dildo. Yeah. But then we got to French, and they used godmiche, which is a sort of an antique way of saying dildo.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that's where the name had come from. I just know that I can never remember what it's called. You see, that position I could remember, but that I can't.
So that's godmiche. That's the easiest way. I just literally go put dildo into Google Translate and turn it to French, and it's godmiche.
There we go. That's an easy way for me to tell people.
It is, yeah. And it also then has a story to go with it.
It does.
How was your first kiss? Can you remember that far back? Has the dementia set in yet?
Chicken monkey.
Well, I don't know.
Oh.
Come on, your first kiss. Was it a frog?
Well, he never turned into no prince.
It wasn't my dad. Don't say it was my dad. No. Okay. Go on.
To be quite honest, I can't remember. It was not that.
So it wasn't one of those movie kind of like little leg kick kind of.
No, I can't remember.
Can you remember where was it lips? Just like, or was it like tongues as well? Was it like a wet, slobby?
Yeah. No. I can't actually remember.
No. How long ago was it? How old was you?
Oh, 13?
When you had the first kiss? 13? Yeah. I'd done loads of girls by that point.
I know. But you had a different bringing up.
I did, yes, you're right. If Adam had been a girl, what would you have named him? Or her?
I quite liked the name Victoria.
Oh, you'd have called me a Victoria? Like Posh Spice Victoria, like...
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not posh though.
Originally,
Oh yeah?
I wanted to call you Benjamin Paul.
Has only got one ball.
And that is what your dad said. The kids at school will say Benjamin Paul's only got one ball.
Okay.
So we didn't call you that.
So you called me Adam.
Yeah.
So
And
why did you call me
I also
Adam?
wanted a name that people wouldn't shorten. So like your Auntie Jacqueline calling her Jackie or something like that. I wanted names of my children that then wouldn't be shortened. So I had Adam.
Yeah.
So people call you Ad and
Ads.
Bread.
Yeah, that was bread.
So, you know, it didn't really work out.
No, because everyone shortens something. So you would have called me Victoria.
I liked that name. Whether your dad would have gone with it is another thing.
Well,
But I didn't actually want girls. I only wanted boys.
why? Why didn't you
I've
want
got
girls?
sisters.
Problematic,
I've got
aren't they?
cousins that are all girls. And girls are such bitches. I just didn't want a girl.
Staying out of this conversation.
Yeah.
I get myself in shit.
So-
I love girls. Girls are the best thing in the
What
world.
did I
Boys
tell
are
you
bad.
about your daughter?
She's a nightmare. She's the
No,
devil.
I
She's
told
the
you she
devil.
was a witch.
She's the devil in disguise.
My granddaughter was only a few weeks old and I said to you, I told you not to have a girl. They're witches.
But we all love her.
We do love her
We do
very much.
love her. Yeah.
Well, she
Like-
was a bit of a witch when she was a baby. She's grown up very nicely now.
Well, that's debatable.
But having said that, once she gets to be a teenager, whoa, who knows?
Yeah.
I'm just glad it's you and not me.
Victoria! Victoria! Really? Is there no other names that you'd have thrown in there?
That was the name I really liked.
Was it really? Why Victoria?
I don't know, I just liked the name.
It's quite a nice name. I don't mind being called Victoria.
Well, you have worn my dresses before.
I've worn several dresses before.
Yes, but
Yeah.
my dress, my velvet dress you wore.
I did. I wore
And
that
a
to.
pink wig.
I wore that to a Christmas party. I looked like a really good girl for the Christmas party. I also wore a dress while working at a bingo place, and was running around as a bingo caller.
And what happened when you wore my dress and you did the Christmas party? Can you remember? Everybody was supposed to be dressing up, and the only person that dressed up in
Yeah.
a dress was you.
Yeah.
Everybody else went as men,
Yeah.
dressed as themselves.
So I turned up for a Christmas dinner with work. Thank you, you fuckers.
Yeah.
And,
Velvet dress,
yeah.
pink wig,
I look
makeup,
the part. I look like-
shoes, tights,
Bum.
the lot. You looked very
I did.
good.
Even I'd have had sex with myself. Honestly, I was like, woo! I'll take her number. Was I a good kid? Did you ever get phone calls about me? Was I a bad kid at school?
No.
Was I not? I remember
I
a few.
can't recall really getting any phone calls about you. I had loads for your brother, but you was actually quite a perfectish child, I suppose.
What?
You
Me
were
and
very
perfect? You've used those
Look.
words?
When you first started school, well,
Yeah.
nursery,
Yeah,
we used to send you to a private school,
yeah.
and you had little shorts, a proper little jacket, tie, cap,
Yeah.
Oh,
and
that
he
would be
looked so
cute.
sweet.
Stud muffin from a young age.
You looked lovely, but you weren't really all there. You was
Oh.
never going to be an academic.
Take
let's put
this
it that way.
compliment and now smack you in the face with the other one. Me?
Yeah, I never thought you was going to be sort of an academic and, you know, doing things.
No,
'Cause
neither
you
did
was,
I.
You was always very hands-on, wanting to do things
Yeah.
like yo-yoing and not skateboarding, rollerblading and trying to break your neck and things like that.
I wasn't trying
But
to.
you
They were
was
just
very-
byproducts of things that...
But
I did.
you were just not that way inclined. Well, you didn't do bad at school.
No, I did.
You did
You could have done
fairly
better.
good, but yeah, I suppose could have done better. Mind you, I had that on my report. Could do better. Concentrated.
Were you open with your son about sex and relationships, or did you avoid the birds and the bees conversation?
No, I'd say I was quite open. I
Okay.
bought you your first lot of condoms, as far as I'm aware.
Yeah.
I did
I
buy
remember
them
that.
you when you had a girlfriend because I said I want you to be safe.
No, you didn't say that. No, you didn't say
Well,
that.
actually-
What was the first things? I don't want to be a grandma.
I don't want to be a grandma until I'm in my 40s.
Yeah, yeah.
No, 50s.
I don't know.
Excuse me.
I can't remember how old you are.
Please edit. I said until I'm 50, I don't want any grandchildren.
Okay.
Yeah?
Yeah.
And I wanted you to keep it in your trousers, tighten a knot or cover it to make sure that you were safe. And fortunately, I told all three of you that. And I was in my 50s before I got my first grandchild.
Yeah.
So you
kind of
did
right then.
what I wanted. Do you know the reason why I wanted you to do that?
Because you didn't want to be a grandma.
Actually, it wasn't that I didn't want to be a grandma. It was the fact that I'd seen other people have children a lot younger than even I was, and I was in my 20s before I had you, that I wanted you to get yourself sorted, I wanted you to be more settled, I wanted you to have a job,
Yeah.
and I wanted you to have lived, had some life, go out and do things, you know, whether it was travel, try all sorts of things.
Do you know, you never
Then
really
just-
actually said that, though. It's interesting
No.
that's sort of one of the things.
That was what I wanted for all of you, because I didn't want you to be 16, 17, 18 and lumbered with a baby. It's very hard, as you know, bringing up children,
Yeah.
and they take a lot of time, energy, money. You would never have got to do some of the things that you would have done, and that is why I wanted that for you.
Okay. Or for us, as in kids,
Well,
brothers, etc.
Yeah, you and your brothers. Yes.
So can you remember any conversations we had about the birds and the bees, sex and relationship talk? I remember running down a field talking about oral sex, but that was with the
Yeah.
neighbours.
Oh.
Can you remember how they explained it to me? She was like, do you know when you go to the dentist and there's this big posters that says oral? Well, what do you think that means? I was like, clean teeth?
Who was this with?
There's like a disabled couple that lived about
Oh.
5 doors down.
Yes, I know who
yeah.
you mean.
And-
When you said neighbour, I was trying to think of
No.
people each side of us.
Yeah,
Oh,
and I just
God,
remember
yeah,
walking
she
across
was
that
very,
field going-
very open about sex.
Yeah, yeah. Suck your dick, that's what it means!
Yeah, she was. No, I think we just talked about obviously being safe sex,
Mm-hmm.
you know, having condoms and that, but really, I can't really recall. If you ever asked me a question, I'd tell you honestly.
Did we ever have conversations about sort of gay or anything like that? So boyfriends, girlfriends?
No, whoever you brought home. When I was younger, I'm sorry to say, my mum was quite prejudiced.
What you're saying is Mama had a very different upbringing to you.
Oh,
and what
definitely.
she taught you and then what you sort of did with us is vastly different. So
Yeah.
why from Mama to you, if she didn't teach you these things, why would you then teach us the things you taught us and be as happy as you were about stuff?
Because I know that I led a very sheltered, enclosed life, and once I was grown up, I saw the differences, and I didn't want that for you or your brothers, so I went and did my own thing and taught you to be open and to accept everybody.
So while we're on
Because that's how I am. Although my mum was quite biased about various things, I personally am not. So, yeah.
So if taking that from generation to generation, Mama was very different in her education and teaching to you. You was very different in what you was taught to us. And then if anything, I suppose me and Monica have almost got like a step beyond that, in the sense of...
Well, it wouldn't surprise me that, you know, your son and daughter are going to be in the business making dildos, you know. They're going to be open-minded.
But
you know,
so just out of curiosity, how do you feel in
about that?
Not so much about that, but they are still a very young age, and what we've always said is that we'll never hide what we do from them, and we give them age-appropriate information.
Which I agree with.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So, yeah?
Yes.
And then
Totally
as they
agree
get
with.
older, we give them more information and we answer those
Yeah.
questions in a manner in which they understand. But we've never shied away from telling them or hiding what we do.
No.
Even though we used to have to... Remember when we had it in our house? We used to have all this stuff in our house on a metal stand
My
in the
mum used
living
to go
room.
spare. My God, those children, what are they being brought up
We used to
with?
hide it with curtains.
Yeah.
Did you ever talk about masturbation? Did we ever talk about masturbation? Yeah. Did you ever talk about like boys wanking or it's
that's
okay?
just-
And
well,
I don't
we
actually remember.
actually had a talk about it.
No.
No. It's just one of those things, I assume.
What you
For
just
boys.
for boys? You just leave them to do their thing.
You weren't harming anyone.
No. Oh, I was worried about going blind at one point because that's what they used to tell me. It's like, better wear some eye protection. You don't want to go blind.
That's only if you get it in your eye.
True. Close. Yeah.
No, I don't think we did.
No, I don't.
But as I say, if you ever asked me something, I'd be honest and we'd talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
But I suppose I let you lead the way, if you like, if you came and said
Do you
something.
find it difficult? Because I was saying to Monica earlier on that it's very different the conversation a mother and daughter would have to a mother and son. And I think if anything, mother and daughter seems to be like an easier conversation for people to have. Mother and son is a trickier conversation to have. But then father-son is almost like a conversation that doesn't really happen.
Yeah.
I can't recall your dad ever talking to you.
No, in
About
fairness, he
it,
wasn't
but then I
around
don't think-
all the time during that.
I can't really recall me talking about it, really.
No.
Particularly to
Have you
you.
found it like difficult or?
No. If you ask, as I say, you asked me a question, I would talk to you about it.
Do you think it would be different if you will have a daughter and talking about this topic?
To be honest, I'm not sure.
And have you ever spoke to your friends about sex and masturbation? If you have any problems, or
No.
was there anybody to answer your questions?
No.
All our friends ask us questions about wanking.
I bet your friends do.
All of them.
Yeah.
I have learnt so much more since you started this business of seeing things, and, you know, I've had that many dildos in my hands.
And then put them back.
Yes, I've
The
then put them back.
self-restraint on that. Oh my good lord. What was your mum's sex education like at school?
My sex education.
Your sex education. Was it good? Was it bad? We kind of touched on this earlier on.
Yeah, rubbish, really.
Why was it rubbish?
Because they didn't really give you any. It was, as I say, I was given a book. The boys had one type of book and the girls had another type of book, and it was just
Why you
mainly
had
drawn
separate
pictures.
books?
I don't know.
Was it because like
I think maybe they
girls
put
was given
some
girls
male
stuff?
things in it, and girls just had girls type in it. It didn't really tell you much about. I don't know.
Isn't that they should teach the same stuff?
Well, maybe you should have
Well-
done, but times have changed such
Yeah.
You
a
got
lot.
to remember, like back in those days.
Yeah. Those days,
Oh
okay.
shit! Well, it was, wasn't it? Sort of being
yeah.
gay was more
never
frowned
had-
upon. Yeah, so it was
Didn't
boys
have
and girls.
anything to do with gay people or absolutely anything. It was
Yeah.
only to do with consenting adults. Yeah, and drawings about which parts does what. You know,
So-
that type of thing.
So, from your point of view, then, given sort of the knowledge you have now, how do you think a sex education should happen, or what should it be like for kids at school? What should it be like for your grandchildren? What would you like to see them
I think
do?
it's going to be different for the grandchildren.
Why?
Because they've grown up with all sorts of stuff around them. You know, they come to the office, so they will see things that other children of that age might not. They might not know what they are or what you do with them, but they've seen things.
So take our children and as being a very different case. Strip that away. So think of children sort of 5 to 15. Sort of sex education generally happens around 12.
Yeah. Well, I think maybe things to do with like girls having periods should be earlier than that.
Yeah.
Because, you know, I'd started earlier than what the education was, which was quite a panic, you know.
Yeah.
A very, very scary thing. So I think children are developing quicker than other times. I suppose it's also because of the diets and the types of things that we've got.
Well, look at the information that's accessible to them.
As to when they should be giving it and to the amount, I'm not really quite sure. But I think it should be inclusive of everything. You should get the information around male sexuality, female sexuality, you know, consenting adults, what happens, 2 girls, 2 boys, you know, whatever. It shouldn't be expected that it should only be 2 people.
That's all 19 questions. So how did you feel about that?
A lot better than I thought I was going to.
See?
It frightened me because I thought, oh, don't ask me, you're going to ask me about certain objects, and I'm thinking, oh my God, I don't know, because I don't really know.
No, because it was always about. I mean, we've had these conversations, and what will come across with this is that we've had these conversations. There's never been a wall between us talking about blowjobs or sex or condoms.
No,
it's not necessarily been a conversation.
My upbringing, which was, as I say, behave yourself and don't do anything you shouldn't do.
But you haven't shied away from it. You haven't, I suppose, been that active for everything in the sense of you was active with condoms. Yeah. So you was proactive on that side as opposed to reactive in the sense of being asked questions. But you never failed to answer those questions when they were asked. So sort of our relationship, as I sort of said at the beginning, like you're my magic mum. Like we've always had a nice relationship, and we've always been able to talk about things. Which
been very open.
I'm lucky in that sense. I am very lucky because there are many people that may well be watching that don't have that, and so yeah, it was just we think that this should be more. This shouldn't just be within a couple of families or a smaller amount of families. People should feel more comfortable talking about it. It's not an embarrassing thing.
Just don't ask me to talk to your grandma.
I wouldn't ever ask you to talk to grandma. Yes, no. Grandma.
And she'd still clip you. She'd clip me around my ear hole.
Yeah. So even with our family that's quite open, we still have segments of our family that we sort of struggle to talk to. But that's what we wanted this to be about. So it's like
something to work on.
Yeah.
Listen, listen. My grandma likes you now, Monica. There we go. You can go and talk to my grandma.
She likes you.
And then you can go, I've corrupted your children. They're not children, are they? Yeah, that's it.
Grandchildren.
Yeah.
I think kids will tell her first.
Yeah, well,
with the
conversation.
What was Daddy doing today? He was in the office making dildos, you know what?
Yeah.
So we hope, we both hope you've enjoyed this video. It's been a very different Mother's Day for you, I suppose.
Definitely.
Yeah.
A first.
And we also hope that it gives everybody watching this the inspiration or the confidence to potentially talk to their parents or their children about sex and sexuality a bit more openly, because we really believe the world will be a better place if these things happen, and ultimately it's down to us to make those changes. So With that said,
If you like this video, hit that like button.
if you are new here, then subscribe
And as always, please leave your comments
in the comment section below. That's it from us, me and my mum, and me and Monica will see you on the next video. Bye bye. Yeah, done.